and thank you for talking to Living Down Under. So tell me a little bit about your story and what brought you to live here in Australia.
Well, I, like many British people, came out as a backpacker. It was 20 years ago now. So young, fresh-faced, excited, you know, coming to the other side of the world, discover this great place. And basically just arrived in Sydney, having had 6 weeks in New Zealand. Worked in Sydney, earned some money, and then just did the bus trip up the east coast as far as Cairns. We got stuck in Cairns in a cyclone for 3 weeks, which was quite exciting. And then from Cairns came across through to Alice Springs, down Adelaide, Melbourne, back to Sydney, worked again, went back to Alice Springs, fell in love, got married, etc. And here we are 20 years on now on the Sunshine Coast.
And you stayed in Alice for how long?
10 years in Alice Springs.
Nobody can believe that in your story. Everybody goes, Alice, for 10 years?
I know.
So what was the draw there? Obviously you met your partner and your husband.
Yes, yeah. Alice is a great town. It's fantastic for tourism. It's fantastic. It really, to me, epitomises what Australia was all about. You know, you kind of have this romantic, you know, it's like Australia, the movie, this kind of romantic, rugged outback town, the colours, the landscapes, and just the strength of community. You know, in a small place like Alice Springs, you know, in the heart, the heart of the country, and just, yeah, as I say, the community, the people, the colours, the landscapes. It was awesome. It was an amazing time in my life.
Yeah,
loved
and it must have been for you to stay 10 years. That's pretty unusual. And then you headed up to Darwin.
Yep, Darwin. So going from sort of being a desert dweller into the tropics was fantastic. Very, very different lifestyle in Darwin. You know, the proximity to Asia, just all of the Asian influences, which was fantastic food-wise and all that. Very multicultural city, Darwin. And again, different landscapes, different colours, but great communities, outdoor living. You know, and as I said about Alice, you know, the territory really does sort of resemble to me what Australia, you know, is all about.
Yeah, so what brought you down to the Sunshine Coast to make this home?
Well, I had one of my children who actually had in England, gave birth to her in England and came back to Darwin. And then when I was pregnant with my second daughter, my mother and father and also my sister were emigrating from the Midlands, and they'd chosen to live on the Gold Coast. And I just thought that with family living on the Gold Coast, the best place to be to get that support with a young family and, you know, get them to meet their young grandchildren was to come across to Queensland as well. My husband's family's in Queensland, so we moved across and to experience another fabulous side of Australia, which is the beach.
So you've really seen it all. You've travelled it all as a backpacker, and then you've lived a lot of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's your involvement here at the Surf Lifesavers?
I've got 2 daughters here at the club. They're both in the nippers. One's in under 7s and the other one is in the under 11s. And we just come along, and again, just going back to that whole community thing, you know, the great thing about Australia is the people and the friendliness of people that we found. So just to come down every Sunday for 6 months of the year and be with these fabulous people who give up their time voluntarily to teach your kids surf awareness, and which is vital. You know, when you live on the beach, you've got to be aware of the surf. I just wish I'd had it, but you know, there wasn't much surf in Warwick, so, so we didn't. I'm a bit pathetic in the beach. Oh, there's a wave. Oh no! My children are dolphin diving in, and it's great to see. It's amazing.
It's a great experience for them.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for talking to Living Down Under. People will really love your story. I think it's one to be absolutely admired.
Thank you very much. Thanks.